Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble some model kits, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes, and if you feel like being a lurker, and all you want to do is lurk, and you don't want to say anything, you can just lurk. That's also okay. But you should also throw the emotes in the chat to thank Jam for subscribing with Prime. That's 90 months. That's so many months. Thank you so much, Jam. Appreciate you and your continued support. So throw those emotes into there. Welcome, everybody. We're back. Now, was I technically back on Tuesday? Yes and no. Tuesday's stream went real bad. I don't know if it was Twitch. I don't know if it was me. Hey, Lashbrook, from all the checks and balances I could see, it wasn't me, but something clearly went wrong. And I ended up canceling the stream about 45 minutes into the stream. So I will finish up. Is this seat taken another day? Hey, Lord Crashington. But unfortunately couldn't finish that up on Tuesday, so another day we'll do that. Not next week, because we got a power wash next week. Next Tuesday is Power Wash Simulator. Haven't played it. I'm not going to touch it until we actually get in the game. I loaded it up to make sure, to see if like the demo progress carried over or something. It didn't seem to do that. I also, hopefully there's going to be a patch, because borderless window doesn't work right now. So hopefully by the time I play it on Tuesday, there'll be a quick patch and that'll get fixed, because that's a bummer. Basically windowed and, or not windowed, but full screen and borderless are acting the same. And I don't like that, because I want to be able to click out into another monitor. So hopefully that'll get fixed, but right now it's not. It's not an elephant in the room, but like, to get a little into it, we'll go to the overhead camera, talk about the kits that we're working on tonight, and then I'll just kind of, I have a somewhat of an idea in what order I want to talk about things. I did make a thread on Blue Sky, and I will reference that thread for myself. Tonight we are working on two model kits, one that we'll finish right away, and one we might finish by the end of the stream, but I don't know. And if not, we'll continue it on Saturday. We're working on the 30-minute missions extended armament vehicle white horse version. There's a black horse and a white horse. This is the extended armament 30-minute missions kit that we will be working on here. We're making a robot horse. We've made a robot dog before, and now we're building a robot horse. And when that kit is completed, which will definitely be tonight, we will begin another kit. I'll just put the image up there. This is the Ultraman Zero Wukong Armor. What's the fucking full title of this thing? Ultraman Zero Wukong Armor DX is the full name. And so it's Son Goku. It's Ultraman in the Monkey King armor. And that looks cool as hell. And we're going to build both those things tonight. So let's get into that. We'll get this image away for now. Just do the horse. We're building a robot horse. Now, I am going to save this horse and keep it close by, because in the future, I'm going to get a 30-minute missions kit. There are a couple of them you can use with this. I will be finding a humanoid-looking 30-minute missions kit, specifically so I can turn this horse into a centaur. I want to do that. There are options for doing that, where you can make, you can get a knight kit and then make a centaur, or centaur, if you want to be weird about it. So I want to do that at some point. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I will do that at some point. So I got to keep this kit around for that fateful day. All right, so we need N1 and N8. Get those here. SN N1, 1, and 8. Got it. Okay. So I'm going to refer to my notes here a little bit and kind of talk about what's happening. So basically, for a while, myself, my mother, my father have known that at a certain point, we were going to drop everything and have to go to Connecticut. My great uncle, you've heard me talk about him before. His name was John Bevins, John J. Bevins. He was a priest for his entire adult life up until his 93rd birthday. He died a couple days after turning 93. In his later years, he became a Monsignor because and I don't remember what happened, but basically he got the church that he was for many years the pastor of recognized as a landmark venue in the United States. Very rare for that to happen. By doing so, he became a Monsignor, and he kept that title. You may remember my uncle as the guy that visited my great uncle, my grandfather's brother, youngest brother. You may remember him as the guy that would visit a couple times, and I would have to stream in a different room sometimes because he was in this room, things of that nature. He would visit around my birthday. It was very nice. He did not visit this year because his health took a turn for the worse, and it made more sense for him to stop traveling, which was good. Again, turned 93. John has been an active part of my life as long as I can remember. He is the relative who, when asked about streaming, I told him that I was doing an internet radio show. And then a year later, the pandemic happened, and he started to understand what streaming was because the churches were live streaming. And so I never corrected myself, and the white lie I told him, that I was doing an internet radio show when I could have explained that I just do a live stream, like church does. So John was very good to my mother. He was incredibly good to my grandmother, who was his sister-in-law. Especially in the years after my grandfather's passing. He passed when I was 9. John was very good to us for many, many years, kept us I'm going to get emotional here and there, and my apologies if this is not going to be your vibe, me remembering someone. I will be talking about some nonsense. My trip was semi-cursed, and so I will talk about that, and I think that will be hopefully enjoyable for you. But I am going to talk about him. In the year 2000, I was living at home after doing a year at college. I was getting ready to move to New York and saving money and working a bunch of jobs. And our attached garage on my childhood home caught on fire. And we had to vacate the house while they basically gutted the entire inside. And while we were doing so, we stayed with my uncle. My uncle had a house that he barely used because he was a pastor at a church and stayed in the rectory, but he had so much stuff, and he liked to go there on the weekend, like once a month he liked to go to that house. He put us up in that house while we waited for our house to be rebuilt. He was unbelievably caring and good to us. So he passed away, and arrangements were made for the funeral. And so we decided we needed to go up to Connecticut. Now, would I have preferred if the three of us flew to Connecticut? Absolutely. Would have been great if we had flown to Connecticut. But we did have to stay up there for a while. There were things that needed to happen. He had his items in the rectory, where he was staying. He had items in a storage unit that need to be looked at. There are lawyers and things that need to be contacted. There was stuff that needed to happen. So we couldn't just fly up there and like rent a car, or get driven around. So we set a course for Connecticut from South Carolina, a 2-day trip. The first day we got as far as the Maryland-Virginia border and stayed in Maryland. And that was fine. So thank you, Lashbrook. I appreciate that. So I you know me, I stream. I did not stream Thursday. Thank you. And having to stay in Maryland indeed. I did not stream Thursday of last week or Saturday of last week or Monday of this week. Which is the most streams I've ever taken off. Even when I went to PAX's, I would always do like a stream that weekend or right before. So this is the most I have gone without streaming since I started heavily doing this. Since I started doing it 4 days a week. This is the most. There was a miscommunication, and we got to a hotel and realized we had booked a different hotel. So that was adding complications to our first day drive. That was the only issue on the first day. The second day, someone in our car fell, and we took a trip to the emergency care. Not the emergency room, went to emergency care. They're fine. Everything's okay. But it was a slight detour. Let's see. That first night in Maryland, we shared a wall with the vending machines and the ice maker for the floor. And I could hear one of the vending machines, fan running and cooler running, like a soda machine, running the entire night. And it vibrated the floor a little bit by my bedroom, by my bed, I should say. I realized I have not shared a hotel room with my parents in probably 20 years. We went to a wedding of a friend of mine and spent one night in a hotel sharing a room when I was in my early 20s, and I'm in my mid 40s. So it was well over 20 years ago. But that's the first time that has happened. And hopefully this is the last time that we've shared a hotel room. Cause it's just not feasible. But we're all trying to save money, gotta save money where you can. So next day, a fall, no stitches required. Okay. Trips to figure stuff out. We're good. We're back on the road. We're making it happen. We're in Pennsylvania. We're making decent time. We make it to New York State, and we go and have I want to say a late lunch. My first encounter on the trip of running into somebody who is wearing a mask. Congratulations and shout out to the hostess at the Cracker Barrel off I-84. You were wearing a face mask while working, and that's very smart. Did not see, I don't see much masks down here, but I did see it in New York State, so that was good. Happy to see that. I need N324. It's this one here. Great. So there. I found a pair of big sunglasses in the car and put those on. If you want to see the thread on Blue Sky from a week ago, they look real good on me. It wasn't until I arrived in Connecticut for the hotel we would spend the next several days in that I realized that I had packed 2 dress shirts and my suit jacket and my long coat, my long trench coat, which I don't normally wear down here, of course. We had gotten that far, and it was only then did I realize that I had not packed a pair of dress pants. I left them at home. So errands were needing to be happen. We had to go to Costco, and I bought a pair of black pants at Costco that were a size too small. And because that was the biggest pair of pants I could buy that were in black, unless I wanted to buy snow pants, which I did not want to do. I managed to fit into these pants and tuck in my shirt and my undershirt, and it was fine. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to wear them again, because I was just like, "Ooh, this is working, but this is not great." So yes, at that point, I had upgraded this trip to kind of cursed. I would later upgrade it to semi-cursed. So wore formal stuff. We did the wake, which was at church. I saw relatives I did not know were going to be attending, which was lovely. We saw family friends. We saw an unbelievable number of people who considered my great uncle to be family. The number of people that came up to us to talk to us at the wake, to share their joy and their sorrow with us, was truly unbelievably touching. The current mayor of Waterbury, Connecticut, came to the funeral. The former mayor of Waterbury, Connecticut, came to the funeral. The founder and former CEO of Webster Bank, a large chain of banks in Connecticut, came to the funeral. A state representative and a state senator came. There were a lot of people from various. My great uncle was a military man. He served in the Navy as a chaplain, and there were many people from the services. The Knights of Columbus during the wake stood honor guard, which was very touching and nice. There is a Order of Irish Catholics. There's like an Order of Irish American Catholics that my uncle was a big part of. They came. There was another society that came that I don't remember anything about, except that I had never heard of them, and their gear was very like, it felt a little Knights Templar in there, is what I will say. It was odd, but cool. No, as far as I know, Lord Crash, we did not have any Masons in the building, but I wouldn't be surprised. The next day, we rode in a funeral procession, which I have never done before. Actually, I've probably done it once before, but it's been a long time. Riding in a limo as part of the procession, a police escort. At that point, the funeral is on Saturday, which is no Kings. Here's how I will say the impact that John J. Bevins, Monsignor John J. Bevins, had on the city of Waterbury, Connecticut. They redirected part of the No Kings March, so there was a clear shot from the funeral home to the church, and from the church to the cemetery. They rerouted a march for my uncle's funeral. And that is just a true weird fact. So we went there. My dad thought that some roads were closed off because of us and not closed off because of No Kings, which is very funny. Everything went very well. The funeral was absolutely lovely. It was a very wonderful ceremony. The amount of priests and sisters that came, there were a few people, there were some priests from other countries who had been sponsored by John to stay in the United States to continue. It was unbelievably lovely, the outpouring of support. The amount of people that came to the funeral that had also come to the wake the night before, the hours, viewing hours, was unbelievable. And then that was over, and there was some food, and it was nice, and everything was great. And the next day, we were going to take care of where he'd been living. He'd been staying in a rectory, and there was a lot of stuff to shift through. My uncle did not throw things away. And so we had a lot of stuff to go through. At one point, he got an iPad in the year 2020 so that he could do readings of scripture on the iPad. And then in 2024, he got a new iPad, one of the 13-inch ones, a very big iPad, is what I will say. He still had the old iPad. So now we have two iPads. But we had to clear everything out. I found so many, magnifying glasses. My assumption is that my uncle would go places and forget his magnifying glass, so he would go and get a new magnifying glass. Like if he was on a trip, because he did travel quite a bit. It just seems like he collected them. We found so many. I think we kept like two because they're nice to have. So we did all that. We got through that. That was a long day and it was an emotional day. I will say that I have two cousins. They are brothers. We thought of John as another grandfather, all three of us. I feel confident saying that. One of my cousins was there with his family. The other cousin is in Las Vegas, could not attend. My goal in cleaning out John's personal effects with my parents and with some help was that I wanted something of John's that each of us could have, that I would take something and send it to each of my cousins. And I did that. I'm very, very happy that I was able to. And I think each of them will love the thing that I am sending them. And the thing that I've chosen for myself, I am very pleased to have in possession. I will not be sharing what those things are because it's private. And I'm going to keep a few things private, even though I'm talking and it's good to talk about things like this. I'm still going to keep a few things to the chest. But around Christmas time, I'll let you know what they think of the things that I have sent them. So we take care of all that. We end up having dinner with my mom's cousin, who they're like sisters to one another. They talk on the phone every week. They're having similar things around the same age of some similar plights. It was great to have a meal with her. Love that. And then it's Monday. And Monday's agenda is twofold. We have to go to the storage unit that my uncle kept. This is for things that when he downsized from a big house to just moving into the rectory and living purely in the rectory, he gave away things, and he gave things to people that would have been in his will and just did it ahead of time. And then there were things that he didn't give away to anyone. And he apparently was quoted, and we did not know this at the time, he was quoted as saying, well, that's for Gail to figure out, my mom. So we had to figure things out. The other thing we needed to do on Monday was get me to the airport. I was flying out of Bradley Airport to South Carolina. Why? Why was I on staying? Well, there were more things that my parents had to do. And I eventually had to do work and come back to the house. So I did do that. Took care of that. Made arrangements. We woke up, though, on Monday to a discovery that boosted our trip from kind of cursed to semi-cursed. And that was that the entire hotel did not have any running water. No running water, no shower for me on that Monday. And so we went about our day and said we would figure it out later. Because, yeah, we did not have access to anything, no water. So we went about our day. Storage unit did not take that long at all, thankfully. And we were able to do a few other things. I took some items home. Do I have that? Hold on, let me get this thing here. My uncle just bought VHS tapes. He just loved he loved having VHS tapes. And so I grabbed this because I think this is just a cool movie and is a cool box for a VHS tape. Just The Abyss. It's just The Abyss. I just think it's a cool box. And I also he had a bunch of Disney VHS tapes in the big plastic things, some of which are cracked due to weather. But I have those as well. And those I'm probably going to sell as a lot. But yeah, I have The Abyss on VHS now. We do have a VCR in this house. So now I got that. What was I going to say? We cleaned out the unit. We brought some stuff home. We got some photos. There are a few things that, a couple paintings, a few things here and there. And the rest of it is going to go to people that need it or to be eventually taken care of. And we have a priest who is a family friend. He is a priest, but his father obviously was not, but was dear friends with my uncle. So he is going to handle that. He's the one that got the unit for my uncle in the first place. So he's going to take care of that, which is great because we do not want to take care of that. Anyway, while we were driving me to the airport, we found out that the hotel that my parents had been staying at, that they were going to stay in a couple more nights, they were going to move them for the other 2 nights to another hotel. So great. That took care of that. I flew back, had no problems. Breeze Airways, pretty cool. They don't have fairly new planes. They don't have like monitors, like the LED or LCD monitors on the back of the seat in front of you. But they do have this thing that like flips down. There's this, like if this is the back here, then here is the thing that flips down, your tray table. Above that, they have a little thing that flips down and has some ridges in it. And that's for like putting your phone or your iPad in there. And I thought that was pretty neat. I hadn't seen that before. And I thought that was pretty cool. I ended up just using my laptop and doing work. I sat in the airport. I got to the airport pretty early and sat there and did work. And that was good to get some work done. But I needed 2 monitors for a couple things, so I'm glad I was back here doing that. I flew home. It was fine. I've been here. My parents are here now. They stayed another couple days to deal with some other stuff. The new hotel they moved into was fine and had water, which is the most important thing. And they're back now, and life resumes. We still have all of the things that we took with us from John's to sort through and figure out what to do with. And some things have to go to people. As I said, I have personal items that are going to go to my cousins as like a Christmas gift. So I have time to figure out that, to mail something to, I'll have to do it in December, mail something to, all the way to, Las Vegas. And then also mail something to, I guess either mail to Virginia or wait for them at Christmas to do it. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. But anyway, that's the whole thing. That's the trip and all that it entails. I didn't watch Monday night. I watched the AEW pay-per-view because I didn't watch any wrestling that entire week. Because the internet at that hotel was fine, but not great for streaming. And I wasn't going to buy a pay-per-view by myself. My laptop is also pretty basic. It's at the point now that the 2024 iPad that my uncle has, which we now have, is probably more powerful than my laptop. So that's probably going to become my iPad, because I still have an iPad Mini. I have a 2nd-gen iPad Mini, so I'm like, well, maybe it's time to upgrade. Okay, so this goes like this, and then this goes like that. Working on this horse, and now we'll work on more horse. We're just working on a horse, horse stuff. But yeah, John was real good to me. And I will miss him. It is strange to think about him not being there. I will say, when it was decided we're going to figure this out and we're going to go, lots of stuff had to happen and I didn't fully process, because I knew that I would have to at some point. Yeah, you're just watching a man build a horse, Thursday shit. That I had to do that. I had to deal with all of that, which I was, so I compartmentalized a lot. And it wasn't until I got to, I think it wasn't until I got there that I was able to fully and finally start to process that he was gone. But I will say, sometimes just I found things in helping to clean his space that set me to emotionally. And then I did share on my Blue Sky a link to a article written about him in CT Insider, which is a newspaper and website about focusing on Connecticut. That's the CT part. And I did share some information about that, kind of share a little bit about the man who meant so much to so many people. And I did get a message from someone that I did comedy with years and years ago, who I have not kept in good touch with, but was very happy to reconnect with a little bit. And they said, wait, I think that's my dad's church. And then later confirms with me that indeed, this former colleague's father did still attend that church, and sent condolences and a little note about John. And that was that. I was not prepared for that. I was just on Blue Sky dicking around, and then suddenly I got that real nice thing, and that hit me, and that was like, oh boy, okay. And then we're starting to get condolences cards in the mail to my mom. And that also got me when I looked at that today. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I lost my grandma in 20 years ago. It still hurts because she was a big part of my life. My grandfather died when I was very young. I still remember him. My dad's parents, I didn't know. I never met either of them. Apparently I did meet my grandfather on my dad's side of the family when I was very young, but I don't have any memory of it. But John was a big part of my life for many, many years. We were good family, you know. Yeah. The last thing I will share with you is that he was the youngest of four. He was 93 years old, outlived all his brothers. And his nickname was Beans because his last name was Bevins. Now, he did not receive the nickname of Beans because his last name was Bevins. His oldest brother, my grandfather, was nicknamed Beans. And for whatever reason, every Bevins boy also received the nickname Beans because they were far enough apart in age. They all became a variation of Beans, and I believe he was Little Beans. But they were all nicknamed Beans because that was the style at the time, was to get silly nicknames. So much to the point that when my grandfather helped my mom move into college, some man from across the quad yelled, "Beans?" And it was a guy that grew up with my grandfather. I'm convinced that man probably didn't know my grandfather to name him, to call out Francis. I'm fairly confident that he only knew my grandfather as Beans. But yes, I will miss John very much. And to get minorly sentimental and a little religious, I'm not going to get really religious or really sentimental. I will say that he is very busy since he has passed. I am confident because he loved to work and he loved to help, that I am fully confident that my great uncle John is very busy helping people. I am confident in that fact, that he continues to help people. And I take some amount of comfort in that. But yeah, thank you for indulging me. Hey, for folks that your time with me is time that you plan around. You plan for my streams. Maybe not every one of them, but you plan to be here while I'm streaming. I do not apologize for taking time off at all. I would never apologize for that. I am sorry that your routine got interrupted, and I genuinely mean that. I am not sorry that I did not stream on Thursday or Saturday or Monday in order to facilitate the things that needed to happen. I will never regret that, despite the fact that it was unbelievably expensive and not great on that. It was the right call, and I would make that call 1,000 more times. Maybe I would try to convince my parents that we should all fly up instead of driving, and I am going to, if they ever have to go back to Connecticut, I am going to do my damnedest to make sure that they do not fly there, or they did fly there and do not drive there. But yeah, I do not apologize for taking time off. We have some time here to talk about some news of the world. There's some stuff I'm sure we missed out on gaming news here and there because I've been out of touch on things. I will do my best. We'll do some updates of some things here. I had to touch grass for the first time in years. Lord Crash did. My apologies. A few things here. Florida, the state of Florida is launching a criminal investigation into Roblox. You may remember that there was another state doing that and reported on that. This is just an update. They're investigating a criminal investigation into Roblox, accusing the company of failing to protect children from inappropriate content and online predators. So this is joining, I forget what other state it was, maybe in this article will be there. State of Louisiana has also sued them. We talked about that in August, when that was coming there. The Attorney General added that criminal subpoenas will enable them to gather more information from for our prosecutors about the criminal activity taking place on Roblox, as well as evidence of the predators that are out there and the victims. Roblox profited off of kids while exposing them to the most dangerous of harms. They enabled our kids to be abused. Companies like Roblox have become breeding grounds for predators to get to and have access to kids. Yeah. Roblox started as a platform for children, and while 64% of the users is now 13 and over, the platform has rigorously safety routines to build in to response to the time, says Roblox. Roblox is basically like, hey, the kids that came in have grown up, so it's not even like a kid platform anymore, which is like a weird way to defend yourself, but like, okay. Anyway, ongoing. I would not be surprised if there are other... if there will be other states jumping in on this. Would not surprise me at all. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah. Let's see here. Hearthstone and Warcraft Rumble developers are unionizing. To combat instability and unfair conditions. A majority of Hearthstone and Warcraft Rumble developers have formed a union with the Communication Workers of America, the CWA, and that rules. This is the unit of members of CWA Local 9510 in Irvine, California. This is great news. We fucking love to hear it. Good luck to everybody. I hope you get your contract honored. And fair working conditions follow, because shit's real rough out there. So if that can work out, I hope it does. Oh yeah, so Activision Blizzard has recognized the union, which has over 100 workers, including software engineers, artists, quality assurance testers, and producers. So yeah, they have been acknowledged, and then the next step is, of course, to start going into negotiations. Blizzard has like almost 1,000 employees that are part of unions at this point, which is just a wild thing to say, a wild true thing. It's just like kind of bonkers that many people in Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, are unionized, and that's just cool as hell. It's just cool as hell. All right, so we need N3 and 4 and 13. Oh, sorry, well over 1,000 at this point. Yeah. That's awesome. I love being able to tell you that. I love being able to share that news that there's more and more unions coming through. There have been some layoffs since we last spoke. Angry Birds, the current makers of Angry Birds, Rovio, laid off 36 employees because apparently Angry Birds Dream Blast did not perform as expected. And there's a bunch of structural changes. My apologies. I'm sorry. This is a Finnish studio. They're gonna work on fewer games. Basically, they're tightening up. And they are owned by Sega, should mention. They joined Sega in 2023. They were acquired. And then also, it's good to remember that about 16 employees got laid off as that happened. And in the days after that, they had about 16 people lose their jobs then when they were acquired and, got all that money. My apologies for yawning there. I am still not, my sleep schedule is still kind of borked because I was sharing a hotel room and also exhausted a lot and also having to get up really early. And those things led to a situation where I am just yawning a lot. I'm trying to get caught up in my sleep and fix my sleep schedule. So my apologies. Hopefully it won't happen too often on this stream, but I'll get figured out eventually. I'll figure it out. The CEO of Remedy, Tero Vitalia, has stepped down. Basically, Firebreak did so bad that the CEO stepped down. Basically, that's like the long and short of it. There's more nuance to there, but basically, game did poor enough that the CEO was like, "Yeah, I'm out." So, kind of fucking crazy for a studio that had Game of the Year in a lot of places to also have that, But yeah, Firebreak just didn't hit. This isn't what I expected out of Power Wash Simulator 2, says Remy. Yeah, Remy, that'll be on Tuesday's stream. Turns out Power Wash Simulator 2 is not a guy building a horse mech. But yes, Power Wash Simulator 2 is out. I'll be streaming that on Tuesday on the normal Tuesday gaming streams. Did I think about doing it tonight? Yes, I did consider it. I ended up not doing that simply because I haven't built anything in over a week. And I wanted to do a building stream. Also, the items that I am currently working on here were all purchased off my Amazon wishlist. Both this and the other kit that we're working on tonight when this is wrapped up. So I really wanted to get working on that because, like I said, I was like, oh, well, I gotta build these things. They were purchased off my wishlist, and they jumped the queue, so I got to get going on them. But yeah, so Dirty just resubbed at 73 months. Thank you so much, Dirty. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Thank Dirty for the continued support. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. We'll throw some emotes in there. Thank you for sticking with it. So yeah, Remedy CEO has resigned and stepped down, I should say. He led the studio for almost a decade. 2016 to 2025. And apparently talked to the board of directors and they were like, and he was like, yeah. And so there you go. I don't think that's a direct quote, but about what's happening there. You can kind of look at it like that. Let's see. So yeah, Remedy co-founder Marcus Maki is the interim CEO, and Vertalia will stay with the company in the transition period. And Maki has been the chairman of the board, and so he no longer the chairman of the board, so he can be replaced with another person who has been a board member will now be the new chairman of the board. Yeah, basically, it just didn't do as well as they were hoping it would. Firebreak just did not hit. There is a new update coming, though, so they have not given up on it. They're going to have a roguelike mode. Remy says, Robo Horse time makes sense. Also, I'm playing Power Wash Simulator 2 right now. The washing is good. Yeah. I mean, the demo was really solid. I had a very good time with that demo, so I am not surprised. The main game, it looked good. I'm excited to play it. Like I said, had a great time with that demo. Also, Jackbox 11 came out today, which I knew it was coming out. You know, it usually comes out in October. I just didn't know it was coming out today. I got like a notice from like having a previous version of the game and got the notification. I was like, oh, not playing that now. There's like 8 notable games out today. Yeah, there were quite a few games that came out. So I don't have the game yet. I plan on getting it. I'm going to reach out and see if I can get a code for it. But I should get Jackbox. We should do a Jackbox stream next month, because obviously next Tuesday will be Power Wash Day. And then at some point, I'm going to have to play. I'm going to actually have to finish Is This Seat Taken, because I didn't finish it on stream on Tuesday because the stream ended early. So I do want to finish that up because it's great. And I like playing it on stream because it's like a fun puzzle game. But we'll have to get into all of that. So basically, I know at least 2 games I'm going to play in November. So that's nice. Nice to have 2 games figured out. And then also WWE 2K25, I keep threading I'm going to play and just haven't. So yeah. And not obviously, but probably in November or December, more Power Wash Simulator. If you own Power Wash Simulator 1, I would recommend in the next couple of days, if you want to play 2, picking it up, because there is a discount on Steam. If you owned on Steam the first game, you can get a discount on the second game, and so you might as well get a bit of a discount. I believe otherwise it is $25. And I think that's worth it. I mean, I bought the first game in early access, and there is going to be content next year. It looks like they're not doing anything other than hopefully bug fixes. Like I said, the fact that for me anyway, borderless window isn't working, and that's frustrating because I want to be able to click into other windows on other other monitors, I should say. So hopefully that gets straightened out. That mode gets fixed because it's annoying otherwise. I don't like having it because it used to be you could just press exit and go to like the tab or whatever, and then you could click off. But that's not quite working right now anyway. So that's frustrating because I want to be able to, throw an emote in a chat or like look something up without having to like Alt F, tab out of the game and like minimize it or some shit. I don't want to keep doing that. So hopefully that'll get straightened out. I believe it worked in the demo, so I was like, oh, that's weird. So I don't know. Maybe there's a thing I didn't click on. But yeah, I'm excited for that game. There are a few video games that I'm looking to play more of. Nubby's Number Factory I haven't played in like a week. I did have Hearthstone on my phone, so I was playing Hearthstone. That was kind of my like escape from stuff, that I would just play it on my phone because I didn't download it on my laptop. I should have downloaded my laptop, but I didn't, so I just played it on the phone, and that worked fine. It's not ideal on the phone at this point, but I made it work because I wanted to play I wanted to play some Hearthstone games. There'll also be that's also another thing that I'll have to be playing in November, is there is another expansion for Hearthstone coming out, so I'll have to show off that. I don't know when I'm going to do that. I'll probably wait at least a week so that I can get some new decks, and get that going. So we'll see, but it feels like the mini set came out like 3 weeks ago. And I think it did because it was a late mini set this time around. Dirty says, I used a free month of PC Game Pass to start playing Power Wash 2 today. I guess I'll also be able to play Overwatch 2 next week as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, that is a way to play Power Wash Simulator 2 to get in there. If you've got your free month of Game Pass, hell yeah, enjoy it. Outer Worlds 2. Okay, yeah, Overwatch 2 doesn't cost money. I was gonna say, I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, so you meant Outer Worlds 2. Indeed. I forgot that's coming out so soon. There you go. Like I said, I lost like a week of just knowing what was going on. I kept up as much as I could. I didn't see news about the paintings, the stuff at the Louvre. All of a sudden I started seeing like heist memes, and I was like, I don't know what this is about, because I had like wasn't online when people were talking about the theft. I only came in when people were making memes about the theft, and I was like, shit, I need context. So I had to like look it up. Oh, okay, now I know what's going on. But yeah, I did not have proper context for what was up. And now I do. So on Saturday, I will talk about, even though it'll be a week late, I'll talk about my thoughts on Wrestle Dream. Because we, obviously I didn't get there. That's a good alibi. Yes, Remy. Yes, I was busy with family obligations, and so I was nowhere in the vicinity. Couple other quick little notes here. Let's see. The Ravens are doing so bad that apparently they're no longer allowed to play video games. There was a basketball hoop, a ping pong table, some cornhole, and some video game consoles. The Baltimore Ravens apparently they removed all their stuff. This is a teammate, a player on the team was posting that stuff got removed until they start winning more football games, apparently. And apparently, the games that they often play against each other are Super Smash Brothers. So at least one of the consoles removed was a Switch. I'm assuming, anyway. Maybe they were playing Melee, but I assume they were playing Ultimate. The outlet, this is the newspaper Baltimore Sun, reported these Super Smash sessions drew small crowds of teammates late in the day, which is just fun. I hope the Ravens get better so they can get their game systems back, because that's a real shame to have your consoles confiscated. And also, how are you gonna play football if you can't play cornhole? If you don't have cornhole to look forward to, how are you gonna get out there and toss around the pigskin if you can't come back and relax with some cornhole? Thor Crash says they should keep stinking. I mean, all right, I don't know. Maybe they can win a little bit. Removing distractions. Okay. Apparently, this is not the first time they have done that. Also, should mention, they got all that stuff removed and they lost the next 2 games. So apparently, removing distractions did not help their winning ways. But they lost immediately the next 2 games. I just thought that was funny. I'm not here to rag on anybody there. But I did find that to me to be fairly amusing. Okay, so we got to put that like that. We got to put this like that. All right, we got most of this horse done. We got to build the back legs, and then we'll be done. So we'll finish that off in a bit here. And then, as I said, I currently do not have a 30-minute missions humanoid figure that I could put and so it would be riding the horse, or as indicated here, with a slight modification of adding in a torso, I could take the top half of a 30-minute missions humanoid form and make a centaur, which of course I will do in the future. Do not think that I won't. Never. Always assume that if I can make something into a centaur, I'm going to do it. Which is a threat. It's not a threat. It sounds like a threat, I should say. Should clarify. That did sound like I was threatening. Not me. I do not mean to threaten. Don't threaten me a good time. Indeed. But I don't have the ability to make this a centaur. But at some point, hey, my Amazon, I'll talk about it in a couple minutes. My Amazon wish list does have a 30-minute missions humanoid form that I can remove the torso or remove the legs of and stick on this in the waist of. Spoilers, I got that there. Let's see. Fallout 4 is going to be on the Switch too. If you all have been wanting to play a mainline Fallout game on a Nintendo console, first time ever. A mainline Fallout game going to be on the Switch 2, Fallout 4. I don't know why you would want to play it there. That feels like a not particularly great experience. Also a game that is going to be 10 years old. By the time it's 11 years old, it'll be on the Switch. The Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition will be... the Anniversary Edition is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC this next month. That game will be way too big for the hard drive on that thing. Yes, I'm sure. The Anniversary Edition, which is coming into everywhere else, is going to have the base game, all the DLC, 150 pieces of Creation Club content, all in one package. And it will support creations. And then again, the that's all coming to consoles and PC. And then if you want to play it on Switch 2, you have to wait till next year, which I think is probably a reasonable decision. I don't know why you're doing it though. But yeah. First official one. I believe that the Switch must have had... Oh yes, Fallout Pinball from 2016. How are people going to get those CBBE mods on there? Asked Dirty. I mean, look, Creation Club stuff will be supported, I guess, but I don't think that particular branch of mods will be. But yeah, so apparently the Wii U had Fallout Pinball, which came out in 2016, and I don't remember being a thing. But that's the only Nintendo console that's ever had anything, because even Fallout Shelter was just mobile. And Fallout 76 did not come. I gotta look at Fallout Pinball. Was developed by Interplay and Black Isle, and then Obsidian took over, and it came out on fucking everything. Was it a table for one of those Pinball FX games? I don't know here. I'm trying to look up what's going on. I have to look up the franchise here. Fallout Pinball. Here we go. Nope. Fallout Pinball just redirects the Fallout franchise. So Shelter eventually came to consoles. Thank you, Nathan. But I don't believe it came to the Wii U. But maybe it did. I cannot find anything about this game. Okay, in late 2016, Okay, you were right. Zen Studios developed a virtual pinball game based on Fallout Universe as part of Bethesda Pinball Collection, which became available as part of Zen Pinball 2, Pinball FX2, and Pinball FX3, as well as a separate free-to-play app for iOS and Android mobile devices. The pinball adaptation is based on Fallout 4, while containing elements from previous installments as well. So there you go. Then Remy posted in chat a link to a Steam page for Pinball FX3 Bethesda Pinball. This content which is DLC, requires Pinball FX3 on Steam in order to play. But if you wanted to get that, you could spend $11 for Bethesda Pinball. And then also, you have to then also buy Pinball FX3, which is is free, because then you have to buy the pinballs that show up in there, right? So you can just play FX3 for free, and then buy Star Wars Pinball and Marvel Pinball Season 2, and Indiana Jones: The Pinball Adventure. Pinball Universal Monsters Pack. Base game is free, yes. So yeah, if you wanna get that, a thing that I did not know existed, you do that. But pinball is, up until now, Bethesda Pinball, in this case Fallout Pinball, was the only thing available on there from the team, or from that game franchise. Now there will be Fallout 4. All right, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to take a pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to support what I do here, you're more than welcome to. We will talk about some anime in the second hour and more video game conversation and all of that. Remy does say Pinball FX3 is no longer the current game. That's the confusing name, Pinball FX 2023. Oh, cool. So that is confusing and annoying. But if you want to play that Bethesda stuff, you got to go there. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about ways you can support what I do here. Everything I'm going to talk to you about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to support what I do here, that would be rad. It would be very cool. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build Loop Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote into chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here, through cash money like Dirty did, or through your Prime gaming token like Jam did. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get Twitch Prime. You can use a token as if you were paying cash to subscribe to one person a month. If you're not using that token, please use it for some streamer out there, and it'd be great if it was me. I'll just say that. It would be cool if you did it with me. You don't have to. But if you wanted to, you could. That's just the truth. I'm just putting the truth out there, letting you know what's up. That's the easiest way to support what I do here. You could also gift a sub if you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community. I haven't been talking about how many subscribers I need to hit a goal or whatever, because we had a bunch of gifted subs at the end of September, so we're good until the end of October on that. It was fucking wild, that shit. But if you want to gift a sub, you could do that. Bits and coins also always appreciated. If you want to do that as well, you could cheer and be a cheerleader. There's other ways to support what I do here, like my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. There was also a poll for what I'm going to do next when I complete these kits that I've been working on. That is a kit that's been in my backlog since last year. So I'm excited to work on that because it's been with me since 2024. And very excited. That was my $10 patrons vote on that, which is cool. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free. If you want to become a member over there and get my my Wednesday videos a day early, you can do that over on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Consider subscribing for free, becoming a member, perhaps. Take a look at it. Those are monthly ways to support me financially. If you just like to throw something in my tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you could donate there. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out. I'm very close to hitting the $100 threshold to get a payout from Google AdSense. I'm at $94 right now. So in a couple months, I'll be able to get $100 out of there, and I'll be able to buy stuff. But yeah, everything I make through Twitch and Patreon and all those ways goes into fund, and from that fund I buy model kits and Lego sets and gear on occasion, like equipment and stuff that I need. And I have a backlog full of some stuff. Also, the things I'm currently working on were purchased by Chris, both this kit and also the Son Goku, the Wukong armor. That I'll be working on here, the Ultraman Zero Wukong armor. I was able to pick those, or those were picked up off my Amazon wish list. So they jumped the queue and became the next thing that I'm working on right now. If you would like to buy something from my Amazon wish list, you can go over there. It'll come to me in the mail, of course. It'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased, and then it'll jump the queue and be the next things that I work on. As mentioned, I recently added a 30-minute missions kit that I will be able to remove from its waist and turn into a centaur with this kit. And it is the same shade of white, I believe, so it'll look great. I also recently added a Lego set from Donkey Kong, a Mario Kart Lego set. Recently added that. A bunch of things are on that wish list. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, feel free to pick that up, both Lego and model kits. Inexpensive things all the way up to things that are like just fucking so goddamn pricey. Why are these so expensive? That kind of thing. But yeah, if you see something there, feel free to pick that up for me to build. Maybe you want to give me a Christmas gift. You want to get it early. You could do that. You don't have to, but you could. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. I need to go and update that wish list, but it is nice to have an alternative to Amazon because some people don't want to use Amazon, and I fucking get it. And I wish I didn't have to so much. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store, if you can believe it. I got a bunch of... This is the time, since I haven't done this in a week, I'm now looking at my message requests. And I got some dumb bullshit from people. So I am now deleting messages from people who are sending me dumb bullshit about like cryptocurrency and somebody talking about the grind that I've been putting in. Somebody who just followed me has been noticing my I'm live posts and about how respecting the grind. Okay, sure. You're a real person. That's definitely accurate. If you want to support me, what I do here, but you can't spend any money, or you just don't want to spend any money, join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's a nice little place. You would love it over there on the old Discord. Consider jumping in. We would be pleased to have you. A couple of video links for you to check out. Next week, I will have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club, but the current episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about all the Isekai that's out this season. So if you want to know about all the Isekai, including ones that, as reported by somebody, it's a spoiler that I mentioned, it's an Isekai, it's fine. It's going to be fine. You can check that out and watch the video there. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Last week, we didn't get to talk about it at all. I talked about new panting and stocking with garter belt, but you heard me talk all about that while this season was airing. So maybe you didn't hear me gush about With You in the Rain, which I've linked here in chat, is my 1-minute video about With You in the Rain. There was so much good action last season, the summer 2025 season. This was just a quiet slice of life, kind of comedy, kind of drama about a woman who runs into a stray dog, finds a stray dog, I should say, and decides to adopt that dog. Only that dog is definitely not a dog. It's definitely a tanuki, and it's definitely some sort of spirit embodying a tanuki, because it's smart and can write in Japanese to converse with the woman. And it's just a gorgeous, lovely little slice of life about a girl and her dog. Her dog. It fucking rules. I'm so glad it got an anime adaptation. I was surprised when I saw the announcement because I was like, oh, I never thought that would get an anime. But it did, and it's great, and you should watch it. And you should also watch the video of me talking about it because I like it when the number go up. And last week, new panting and stocking with garter belt video did about 15 views. And normally... I do like 1,000 views. Yeah. Sorry, I got a notification I was looking at quickly here. My apologies. I want to just quickly see how With You in the Rain is doing. How many views that video is getting. And that video is doing all right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. 936 views, and it went up yesterday. That's what close to my normal view count. So the thing with shorts, for me anyway, I can't speak for anybody else. The shorts I make are under a minute. You can make longer ones now, but I'm keeping them under a minute because it's a good time restraint. Normally, in about a week, they do 1,100, 1,200 views. The one last week, New Panty and Stocking with a Garter Belt, did 15 views. And I think most of those views are because I tweeted about how, or posted about how nobody was watching them. So they didn't do particularly great. But most of the views come in the first day. I am getting some people that follow me, and also people that don't. I get some comments on some of these videos, which is great. And some people have then gone and followed to watch my other stuff, my longer form videos. And that's good. Every once in a while, a video doesn't do particularly well. Like Magic Knight Rare didn't do good. That video on there didn't do well. I don't know. Sometimes it happens. Generally, it seems like if there is Japanese in the name or is a word that is a nonsense word, my views are low. Like, I don't know why Mobile Suit Gundam video, G-Quux, didn't do well, except that maybe G-Quux just doesn't... I don't know. They just decided they didn't want people to see it. Or it could also be that Gundam videos were doing badly, so the algorithm wasn't pushing out those videos. I don't know. I can't tell you. All right, what's going to happen now is I'm going to drink some water. Then I'm going to talk about some anime that I have been watching. Episodes 3 and 4 of Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, and episode 2 of A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. I've got more of A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai to watch. I just haven't watched it. I've been busy. Yes, who knows what part of the algorithm is the cause of such issues, says Lord Crashton. Yeah, I have no idea. I can only judge on my standard of this is the time of the week. This is the time on Wednesday that I post a video. And then by the first day, it has this many views generally. And in the first 24 hours, and then there's a big trail off. But yeah, I'm way behind on A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. But I'll get caught up for next week. It's just I did not have time to watch. I have not watched an episode. The one I have notes on is the one that I was going to talk about last Thursday. So, but I am caught up on Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. We'll talk about that in a minute. I do need to transition back to the overhead camera so we can finish this horse and so we can start the Monkey King. But in order to do that, I need to drink some water and dramatically transition to the overhead camera. And we'll do all that right now. Nice. All right. If you have not been watching Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, I will be talking about episodes 3 and 4 of this show. Yano, he is just a dude that fucking falls all the time. He is a unbelievably clumsy guy that seems to also have incredibly bad luck. He is also been hanging out a little bit with a girl named Yoshida, who is our main character, ostensibly. She is like student class president and very smart and very well liked. And she has been enamored with Yano. And Yano's like positivity and attempts to like live his best life. Also, he's been avoiding her because he does not want the misfortune that he brings himself to like negatively affect her as well, or anyone. So he lives a lonely, kind of sad life. And she's like, uh-oh, I definitely have a crush on this dude. This unbelievably, like, cursed guy. I definitely have a crush on. I'm going to have to fucking deal with that. In episode 3, episode 2 was about them eating together, and he managed to actually successfully have lunch, which he had not done in a very long time. And it was like, it's this point where you're like, he's got a positive mental attitude, but also is clearly like just bummed. Turns out Yano is kind of pretty athletic. And so gym class is going pretty well. Except they're playing dodgeball. But he can dodge everything. Because his face is a magnet for the balls. So he just keeps getting hit in the face with the ball. But that doesn't count. You can't eliminate someone by hitting them in the face. So he's technically, sadly, and pathetically, very good at dodgeball. And then it comes down to Yoshida and Yano. And Yoshida's just like, shit. There are other people, but like they're now against each other. She doesn't want to throw the ball at him. He ends up purposely getting hit. He lost on purpose because he knew that she didn't want to throw a ball at him. So he ended up just losing. And she's like, that was pretty cool. And he's like, that's not a thing I've heard before. Like, he is genuinely surprised by that because he is more used to, as he says, he is definitely more used to people calling him pathetic or pitiful and not calling him cool. He is unused to that kind of attention, which again, he's fucking sad. After school, she ends up seeing, let's see. After school, she is like thinking about how, like, you know, she's a girl and she's giving him a lot of attention. And generally, when girls give guys a lot of attention, they react to it. Some of them react like dumbasses, but they generally react. But he doesn't react to the attention she's giving him. And she finds that weird. And then she ends up running into a man who is also incredibly accident prone and is falling all the time and getting hurt. And that turns out to be Yano's dad. Yano's dad is here. And then so she meets him, and then Yano's just like, I guess you should come over. So she gets invited over, and they have baby-proofed the house, or accident-proofed it, which is good visuals of them like trying to, you know, prevent themselves from having injury in this house. And they're talking to each other, and Yoshida almost confesses her feelings, like the crush that she's developed for him, and he is trying to, like, he's not trying to, like, let her down. Like, I don't think he recognizes that she's into him, but he is, like, trying to prevent her from getting too close to him because he's worried that she will get swept up in his accident-prone life. And he's, like, maybe a little depressed, too. And so Yoshida's like, is he acting like kind of a dumbass on purpose? Is he, like, doing this on purpose? Is he, like, trying to push me away? Like, what's going on with this guy? And then later, the dad who like immediately it's clocked, this girl is not coming over just because you're classmates. This girl is coming over because she is interested in my son. Okay. So the dad lets her know, like, look, he does not know that you like him. There's no way he would notice. He spends his entire life focused on avoiding injury and avoiding problems and making things worse for other people. So he's just, like, not focused on that. There's no way he has any idea. And then Yoshida's like, well, maybe he does know that I like him, but he's just so focused on being nice because he's got a lot on his mind instead of just, like, dating. So she's like not fully convinced that he doesn't realize that she has feelings for him. He just knows that she just knows, oh, maybe he can't really reciprocate. So, she doesn't have it all figured out yet. She's smart, but she's not like understanding of this guy and his weird ass situation that he's in. That's episode 3, which was like meeting the dad. I thought was cool. Looking at the house, I thought was a neat thing. And then as it continues, more and more, I just want good things for Yano. I feel so bad for Yano. I'm hoping that things turn around for this guy. He deserves so much better than he's getting. He's just in such a rough way. That I hope good things are around the corner for this goof, because he is just a big old goof. So I hope things work out for him. In episode 4, we find out that Yano got a part-time job. He's a high school student. He's working part-time. And he's working at a sweet shop. And apparently it's going okay. Meanwhile, Yoshida, her best friend, is like, hey, what's going on? You seem like way chiller than you used to be. You were acting kind of nervous lately. And she was like, okay, so I've been hanging out with Yano a lot, and I was really nervous about him and like things happening to him, but I'm starting to relax a little bit more, and I'm just like enjoying my time with him, which is cute and great. But she now no longer sits next to him. And she's really bummed about that, because that's how they got introduced, was they were sitting near each other in school, in their class. They're now no longer doing that, and so she's depressed by that. But don't worry. Apparently, everybody fucking understands that she has a crush on Yano. The whole class is in on it. And so there's a bunch of elaborate nonsense with Tanaka, who is a classmate, to come up with reasons why Yano can't sit in places, basically trying to like kite Yano into a seat near her. And now they're sitting next to each other again. Basically, like, all reasonable things that, like, oh, he can't sit there because of this, and he can't be here because of that, and, well, we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to fall on him. But not everybody fucking understands that our girl likes this accident-prone dude, because out of nowhere, a guy named Hashiba confesses to Yoshida that he has a crush on her. But he's like, I think you might like someone else, but I just want you to know this is how I feel. So he's like kind of aware, but he's like not aware enough to be like, hey dude, you didn't have to say that. Like, which is also very high school, and I understand. I get it. But like, dude, you didn't have to. You didn't have to. You could have said nothing. You could have like never said anything, and it would have been okay. But I understand. Sometimes you fucking gotta. And they're on a committee together, and they actually have a lot in common, and like could be friends, but like aren't gonna fucking date, because that's just not gonna happen. And that you miss 100% of the shots you never take, says Dirty. Yeah, I guess that's true, Dirty. But that also just kind of Yoshida gets kind of like anxious again. And Hashiba's like, I don't understand what's going on. And I don't get it. And then this dude is actually near Yano when Yano has another accident and ends up like looking after him and like kind of understands that like Yano just seems like a good dude. He's just like a really nice person. And he like doesn't mean anything, and he's not trying to hurt anybody, and he's just like a good dude who's in a rough spot. And then Hashiba is just like, shit, this is my love rival. I shouldn't be becoming friends with him, but he's like such a good dude that, oh man, oh no, I'm friends with my rival. Oh no. Which is funny. And kind of like, for me anyway, makes up for this whole little bit of drama storyline, because I'm like, well, that's fun and cute and a good way of playing that up. Like, oh well, can we really be love rivals if she's not interested and also you're such a good dude? So Hashiba decides, I'm going to talk to my new friend Yano about the girl I like. And it's like, hey, just so you know, I like her. What do you think about her? And Yano's just like, I mean, she's a friend of mine. Like, it's really nice having her as a friend. And that's kind of how I think about her, is like, we're friends now. And that's cool for me. And then later, Hashiba wishes her luck, which really confuses her, because like he's just like, yeah, she seems pretty cool and a good friend, and that's pretty awesome. And then the guy's just like, that sucks. You don't know, okay? Shit. It's a good little end of the episode. I really like this show. Introducing a love rival who immediately befriends our main guy is really cool. I hope that there's more with the sweet shop, because I feel like there's gonna be some more weirdness with that, but we didn't really get into it. It's just a good show. It's on Crunchyroll. I like it a lot. Standard current Crunchyroll problems exist, meaning that I don't think it looks good as far as the way the subtitles work. I think it looks bad, but also that's every fucking show on Crunchyroll right now. Ugh. And we finished a horse. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to finish here the thing here, this piece here. That's all we have left is this. So that when we do get another 30-minute missions that is a humanoid form, we can take that and we can put it on here to make a centaur. But we're gonna have to do that another time, because I don't have a humanoid 30-minute missions kit right now to do that in. So that'll have to be later. But I can show you how it looks. But yeah, show's real good. I'm really enjoying it. It is a real slow burn romantic comedy that I am enjoying. Okay, so what you do is you take this piece off here. Oops, this thing likes to pop off. I don't want that. And then you can take this piece and you can put it here, and then you can put the top half of a kit, a humanoid kit, in there. And these have all these pegs for like weapons and extra stuff if you want to get that. But at some point I'll have to make this a centaur, but I don't have the kit for that, as I said. Thank you, Chris, for picking up this kit. You did pick up another kit that we'll be working on now. We're going to get started, and which we will finish up on Thursday and then start a new kit after that. But yeah, all right. Let's get this cleaned up here. And then I'll take a photo of it, and then we'll work on the next thing. I wonder if that's the same peg they use for Gundam torsos. So I don't know what the scale of the 30-minute mission kits. I don't think are this. They're not a 144 scale. I don't believe. I believe these are a bit of a smaller scale. So, but I think some of these are interchangeable. I think a 144 scale torso might, as long as it's got a peg. Not all of them have this kind of peg there, but some of them do. But I am annoyed that this pops apart so easy. I might just want to glue that together. But you could like take these apart and do other stuff with it if you want to. But we'll put the horse back on, the horse head and neck back on, and then I'll get a photo of this, and then we'll move on to the next builds. Get the stuff together that I need there. I got instructions. I gotta get, which we will not finish tonight, but we will wrap up on Saturday. We'll get this kit, but at least we'll get this kit started tonight, and then we'll move on. This kit does not require tools, but it does have stickers, so I will use stickers for that. But this is the next thing. Let me just take a photo of this here, and then I'll also talk about episode 2 of A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai, because I am still behind on that show, because I did not watch any new episodes of it. But I will get caught up eventually. Now that I'm caught up on the other show, I can dedicate some time to that. All right. Horse. Done. And again, we'll take a look at this horse again in the future. All right. So, Wukong. 30-minute horse goes away. There's the Wukong. This is Ultraman. There's an Ultraman series where he had power-ups, and this power-up is the Wukong armor, and this Wukong armor DX makes him the Monkey King. That's really all you need to know. This just gear that makes him the Monkey King. So we're gonna build an Ultraman who is the Monkey King. Which is just cool. We do not need any tools to build these because these are like very similar to. We built some Kamen Rider that are like this. This is very similar to the like. What kind of kits do I want to call it? I don't even know what to call this. Very similar to the like figurized kits that we have built before. So we will put this all together here. Need E here, okay. That's going to be G, all right. So yeah, shouldn't need any tools to work on this. And while I talk about that, let's talk about episode 2 of Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. So, as the title suggests, this is an Isekai. Our main character was a salaryman. He is sent to a mystical world here. He is summoned by God. He is summoned by God to fix the planet. Basically, he's given powers, and he's just said, like, hey, this world is, like, kind of messed up, and there's some stuff going wrong, and I'd like you to, like, wander around and figure things out. And our guy is like, okay, but he really wants to gather items and kind of, like, find cool shit, and that's the job. He does run into an ancient dragon, and that ancient dragon's like, hey, this is my son. I'd like you to, his name is B. He's taking a real shine to you. So go hang out with B. B is a cool dragon, cool little baby dragon. It's like, go hang out with B. He'll learn a lot from you because you are stronger than I am. So you'll do a better job raising B than I will, which seems crazy, but sure. Oh, we've got stickers here, huh? We got this cool yellow here, but they want me to put some stickers over the head, I guess. I don't really like that. I mean, we'll put the sticker on the forehead, of course, but I don't know if I like that. At the very least, we'll put the crown sticker here, and then we'll look to see if we want to put the eye stickers on or not. This kit immediately has stickers. That's why when people are like, oh, if it doesn't require any tools, it must be easy, right? I'm like, well, it depends on how comfortable you are with applying stickers, because these kits often have a ton of stickers, which can be kind of annoying to put on, like this one. Kind of annoying, but we're getting it. We're doing it. All right. And then we'll see how this goes here. Okay, so episode 2 of Gatherer's Adventure. We find out that the legendary Elder Dragon, Voldius, he linked Takara's bag to an underground lake that has the magic. So it's got twofold. One, that's going to help B grow big and strong as a dragon, having linked to this water, this mythical lake water. And 2, Takaru can use it. Takaru, I should say, not Takara. Takaru can use it for things, and it'll be good for him too. So hooray, everybody wins. So apparently Takaru is just decided that like B is really strong. He's like, he's so strong, but I'll raise him right. He doesn't realize how strong he is. But he's like, I'm going to raise this dragon to be cool. they run into a bunch of monsters, and Takeru discovers, hey, I'm pretty strong, huh? Because he can use magic and his knowledge of Japanese martial arts. He's applying those principles to the strength he has in this world, and he beats some monsters and then kills them and decides, I'm going to cook these monsters up and we're going to eat. And so, of course, he's a great cook because, he's a Japanese expat in a fantasy world, so he's making cool food. B flies him back to the place where he lived. Takeru finds in his bag he has a branch of Yggdrasil, because of fucking course he does. This is episode 2. And then to use some of B's dragon magic, it turns into a staff. So now our guy's magic staff is goddamn powered by Yggdrasil. Again, we are in episode fucking 1 or 2, I should say. They run into an elf who is starving to death, and she is freaked out and runs away as they try to help her out, because that's gonna happen. Let's see what else happens there. They do give her some food, but she runs away. They're like, that sucks. And then they start walking, and they get a bunch of resources and stuff because, it's a gatherer's. He likes gathering stuff. There's a lot of him gathering things and using his powers. Eventually, he runs into a merchant and the merchant's family and accepts a ride. And then he comes to discover through conversation that because he helped hatch the egg, the very nature of B being born, because B has been born, weird to say, weird turn of phrase there, because of that, Takeru is now a dragon knight because he helped hatch a dragon who is now his companion. So our guy is just like, okay, I guess I'm a knight. All right, sure. And that night, true to his word as being a good chef, as thanking the family for giving them a ride, he makes a big feast, and it's great. Now, I can tell you that elf that we saw there, we will see more of that elf. And that elf is honestly one of the more interesting characters in the whole fucking show. But I don't know if we're going to get to that part in the anime. I hope we do. Because their story is really fucking interesting, and I would like to be able to discuss it. But again, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, it's been, I've read so much of it that I'm like, I don't actually know where we're going to, like, how long it takes to get to that stuff. All right, so we have to put some stickers on here, which we will. The front has a sticker, which is sticker 4. And then the back has 5 and 6. These are some blue stickers here. These are big stickers, so it should be pretty obvious where they go, but we'll do that. Anyway, there's more. As I said, there's 2 episodes I haven't seen, so I will slowly get caught up on the show, probably doing like 2 episodes a week just to get caught up, but eventually I will get caught up on the show. And so far, I'm enjoying it. I like the manga. It's an easy pace, easy to watch isekai. Nothing too difficult about this particular show. It is just an easy watch, so I will continue to watch it. All right, so then we sticker 5 looks like this. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. Wait. Oh, it goes like this. Okay. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? We haven't talked in like a week about, the games and stuff. Obviously, as I said, I bought Power Wash Simulator 2, and we'll be checking that out on Tuesday. On this past Tuesday, 2 days ago, I tried my fucking best to complete and finish a video game on stream. Is this seat taken? The stream, unfortunately, we had to end because either my upload was really bad, which it didn't look like it was, or there was something with the Twitch servers, which is possible. I don't know what was going on, but either way, no matter what, the Tuesday stream was a bust. I did play Hearthstone every day while I was away. That was my good little connection to the world, and I like that. I've been watching some anime that I'm not talking about weekly, and we'll have more to say about that later. That's been going pretty good. I don't have a lot to say about it. I've enjoyed watching a few things. There's some good stuff this season. I'm enjoying Ranma quite a bit. And there's a couple other shows that I'm like, yeah, these are going pretty good. All right, B1. But I don't have like a ton of stuff to say about some shows. I'm behind on everything. I will get caught up on Monday. I'll talk about 2 episodes of Reincarnated Daughter of the Legendary Hero. I did watch the last week's episode, so I'll be caught up on that, right? I think I'm caught up on that. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, I'm an episode behind on that. That's right. I'm Monday's episode. Yeah, episode 3 I didn't watch, so I'm an episode behind on that, and I gotta get caught up on My Ass for One Final Thing and My Awkward Senpai. Because yeah, I think I'm gonna be basically a misstep. Yeah, because I didn't stream on Saturday, so I'm like that. So at very least, I will get caught up on one of those this week, and then the other the following week. And we'll see how that goes. Right now, I'm like, yeah, okay. I think things will work out all right. And then B2 on here. We're not going to finish this kit tonight, but we will finish it on Thursday, and then we will start another kit that I'm excited to work on. The NT1. This is a kit that I've had. This box is so fucking beat up because I scratched off most of it. Let's see, is there anything on here? Oh yeah, there's still, I guess still. Somebody just fucking stuck. We'll just do it like this. Somebody goddamn stuck a printing label on this and then put it in the mail. They didn't put it in any packaging. So it's got a puncture here. It got all beat up. But I have had this kit is 20 years old. It is a reissue, so it's not, the plastic is 20 years old, but the design is 20 years old. But I've had this in my backlog since last year. So I'm excited to actually work on it. But yeah, somebody just fucking put postage on it and stuck it in the mail like a real asshole. But I'm excited to work on that, the NT1. That finally to start building that kit. And we'll get started on that on Saturday, which will be the next stream. Lashbrook says, I've been playing a ton of Silent Hill F. Only 2 endings left to go. Hell yeah, getting through all them endings. Okay, good on you. Really enjoying the story and all the changes. Sold a bunch of Steam items and bought Ball Pit, but I'm not as hot on it as I was in the demo. See, I didn't really like the demo of Ball Pit, so I didn't end up picking it up. And I don't think I will, because yeah, I didn't really like the demo too much. Okay, so this is gotta go like this. Ooh, that looks fucking neat. That looks cool as hell. I hate when they send stuff by putting the label on the box and not putting it in another box so it's a bit more secure. Or, Lord Crashin, even if they just put it in like their cardboard envelope things, they're like paper, like that's something. It's not as good as a box in a box, but just sticking a label on the box and putting it in the mail, I'm like, that's just fucking garbage. It's just garbage, and I'm not, obviously not a fan of it. All right, we got to put some stickers on here. On our Wukong armor, our Monkey King. Can't believe I'm building another goddamn Monkey King. Dirty says, I finished Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Hell yeah. And I've been piddling about in Ball Pit and Mega Bonk until Power Wash 2 came out today. Nice. I got to pick up... I don't know if Mega Bonk is right for me, but I appreciate it existing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that game came out, even if I don't know if I want to play it. I'm saving Power Wash for the stream. I'm not going to play any Power. I might like finish a level, after the stream. I might like do a few levels, but I want my first time playing the game fully outside of the demo to be on stream. So I'm waiting on Power Cinema 2 other than like making sure it worked, and load it up. And then so Power Wash is next week. Then November, I'll probably get Jackbox. So we'll play Jackbox at some point. I want to do a stream for Hearthstone. I want to do Is This Seat Taken? I want to finish that. And then we also have the WW2K 25. I want to do another stream because I just haven't played that enough. That game, I bought that game $60, and I feel like I've only streamed it a couple times. So I do want to like play more of it. And by play, I mean ahead of time set up some matches and then run those matches. Because I think that still be good. This year, I am going to, we'll talk about ahead. I am streaming the night before Thanksgiving, which is a week from, the night before Halloween. We'll start with that. Next Thursday, I do have a Lego set. It is a Halloween-themed Lego set that I'll be building, so I'll pause whatever model kit I'm currently working on, or Lego set or whatever, to build that Lego set on stream. That's a week from today, the night before Halloween. And then Thanksgiving, I will stream on Thanksgiving because I will be going to have Thanksgiving dinner somewhere, but I will leave early enough to be here because it's in walk. I can just walk home to be able to do that because I do like to do those kind of streams with all y'all. So I will stream on Thanksgiving to give people somewhere to be. If you don't have Thanksgiving plans, now you do. Your Thanksgiving night plans are with me. We'll talk about the food we ate or didn't eat or whatever, and all that other stuff. And it'll just be a normal stream that Thursday. There will be a Saturday in November that I'm going to take off for AEW Full Gear. I was originally going to take Saturday off anyway. This past Saturday, I was going to take off to watch the pay-per-view, and then so let's see, that is the 22nd of November. I will take that night off so that I can watch that wrestling show because I want to do that, presented by DC Comics. And then as far as Christmas goes, I will be streaming on the 25th, Christmas Day evening. I will stream because I like streaming on that. And I have not decided if I am going to do a New Year's Eve stream or not, because New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday. Previous years, I have done a New Year's Eve stream where I've just done my normal stream in the last hour, do something else, and then we bring in the New Year together. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year or not. I have not decided. If I do it, I will not do a stream on the 30th, so that way I can do the 31st and just play games that night. But I have like standard things I like to do on a Wednesday, and so I might just do that instead. I have not decided yet. But Christmas Day night, we did all the stickers. All the stickers are done. That's great. I won't have to think about stickers on Saturday. That's excellent. Love to see that. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as New Year's Eve. If I'm gonna take that Tuesday off and do a Wednesday, if I'm just gonna skip it this year and just play a game. Lord Crash says, I've been playing a bunch of Plants vs. Zombies Replanted on PC. It's been a lot of fun. You got Power Simulator 2 and you're on the first carnival job, which has been great. I wish they kept a text message somewhere since they seem to not archive them for you to read later. That's weird because they did that. I mean, they didn't do it at first and they eventually did that. That's weird that they don't do that. Yeah, that's strange. It might just be a place you haven't looked. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm sure they'll take feedback. They're going to spend the rest of this year working on bug fixes and the like. So, let them know. All right. I got to take a photo of this once the stream is done. We're going to wrap it up there. We did build a horse, and then we started working on this, which we'll finish up on Thursday, and then start the new kit on Thursday. This was a great return. Thank you all so much for being here. It means a lot to me. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with me. Thank you for being so cool and chill. Sorry, I got to move this and move that. There we go. Thank you for being so cool and chill with the time I took off. I'm sorry it was so much. I'm not sorry that I took that time off, but I am sorry that it was so much time. But hey, it kind of worked out. I was going to take Saturday off anyway, as I said. So instead of taking it off to watch wrestling, I took it off because I was at a funeral. But thank you all so much for being here. We are going to end tonight's stream with a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. Who is that we're going to go spend time with? I don't know yet. I'm looking. Who's playing? Who's doing things? Wait. How long have they been going? Sorry. How long has... Adam's only been going an hour and a half. My boy Adam is playing he's playing 2XKO. Which apparently he is being sponsored to play. We're going to go support Seabats because Seabats does not stream in the evening. And Adam rules. I love Adam. So we're going to go raid Adam, aka Seabats. So feel free to come along on this raid. I hope to see you on Saturday as I finish up the Monkey King, Ultraman Monkey King, and then as we also start a model kit from 20 years ago. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thanks for making my first building stream back such a success. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for putting up with me as I processed this past week. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.